Lakers rolled the once frisky but now faltering Pelicans. They were up 35 at halftime.
Seems good.
AD went for 35 and 17.
Seems good.
Here's the standings. Lakers still below 500, but in 10th place. Now, Nick, do you want to say they're in 8th place?
No, they're tied for 8th.
Okay.
They have the same. Listen, there are
Do
three
they have the
teams
tiebreakers
tied
over
for
those
8th.
two?
What? No, that's why they're in 10th
so they're
right there.
10th.
But it's a weird. Okay. I'm not going to argue about whether or not we need to worry about the tiebreakers when these teams still play each other moving forward. So the tiebreakers will change.
But if you saw that,
one of them
Lakers at 10 on it. This is a positive Lakers
They're tied
segment.
for 8th. After tonight, they'll be at 500 for the first time all year.
Frisky
And
Rockets,
they are right now, record-wise, since the All-Star break, the hottest team in the Western Conference. Since the trade deadline, they have the best defense in the Western Conference. And last night, in a gotta-have-it game, because if we can show you the standings, if you saw it, you saw where the Pelicans were. Right. Imagine if those flipped it. They had the best first half any team has had all year. They were up 35 at the half. The only bigger halftime deficit was a Warriors-Nets game, actually, when the Warriors without all their guys and the Nets still had a functional team. They ran roughshod over them. That is the type of team that you would say is playing its best basketball at its most critical time without its best player. Or maybe, keep your fingers crossed, without its second best player.
Ooh.
Because that would be the best thing that could happen.
Yep.
That would be the best thing that could happen is Anthony Davis. You're right, we haven't seen it in 4 years. But we saw it briefly when they were en route to winning the championship for the Western Conference Finals and the first couple games of those finals,
right,
the first two games. And that team looked unstoppable. A team where LeBron's the second best guy playing great. So I said after the break, or right when the All-Star break started, they had to go 14-9 to make the playoffs, 16-7 for a top 6 seed. That 16-7 and top 6 seed is right there, Brew. If they win tonight, the Clippers and the Warriors, who are 5-6 tied, play each other tonight. If the Lakers win tonight, they will be one game back of the 6th seed, whether it's of the Clippers or the Warriors. It's absolutely in play, and they look like a team that has a real roster and a real chance at contention.
Absolutely. You should definitely believe in them Wilds. You should come over to that side of the table.
Are you on that side of the table?
I believe it. I'm not saying I'm predicting they're going to win the championship, but
that would
a
be his
contender.
Fourth Western Conference pick.
No. My pick was Golden State.
Yep.
I have not come off that pick. All I said is Phoenix, when they got Durant, if healthy, they should win it. I didn't say I was picking them. They should.
Heavy flirting
There's no
with
excuse.
Phoenix.
A little flirting, but now, when does Durant get back? Who knows? And then let's not talk about the Mavs because that's Nick's pick. And they're full 3% chance to win the championship. All right, but anyway, Nick, what have I said all year long about the Lakers? The only team in the league with 2 top 10 players.
Yep.
That means a ton in a league when typically it takes 2 or 3 stars to win a championship. Now, other teams have 2 stars, but not 2 top 10 players unless you want to throw Devin Booker. He's probably right at the outside
wait for the
top
pyramid.
10.
38 minutes. Let's see where he is.
In the pyramid. But he's right outside it probably. The only question for them, especially now that let's say it's health. All right, of course. But you know what's not a question anymore? Depth. They got depth. Shooting since the trade deadline. I mean, D'Angelo Russell can shoot. Malik Beasley can shoot. Austin Reeves can shoot. Fit. That's not a problem. Defense, not a problem.
So you guys gave
me
the
only question now is health.
But you guys gave me a hard time earlier this year, mostly Wilds, a little bit of Bruce egging them on with the, oh my God, can LeBron get more help? Can you stop whining about LeBron's needing more help? I never heard about all these guys need help. We never said Magic needed more help. He was on the team with Kareem. Never said Michael needed help. He had Phil and Scotty. Whatever. And the point I kept making was I was not asking for LeBron to get Kyrie Irving. I was not asking for them to trade for Damian Lillard. No. I thought Kyrie
might be a little dirty pool.
Hold on a second. I was not saying they needed to add a superstar. What I was saying is they needed a team that made sense even in 2K, much less in real life. They needed a team that had some shooting.
Yeah.
I will give
Pelinka
absolutely Pelinka credit for at the last possible second finally having a team that has a chance. Because what we have seen, and again, I know you guys like to pretend the bubble didn't exist and it was 45 years ago.
Me. Not you guys.
Okay, I'm sorry. Wilds and his friends. Just
I like the bubble.
Okay, sure.
You're just it was 6 weeks ago.
No, I just tell you when it was. It was.
And he had a long break.
27
years ago.
It was 27 months ago is when the bubble was. When they won the championship. That team was not a super team. That team's third best guy was either Kyle Kuzma or Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. But it made sense. It was a team that made sense. This Lakers team now makes sense, and they are showing that they can win games even without LeBron, which we haven't seen any LeBron-led team be able to do since the Heat. And he didn't miss many games with the Heat. But those Cavs teams, the 4 years that he was back with the Cavs, they won 4 games.
Right.
So there's real reason to be optimistic.
Right, so no LeBron, no AD tonight against the Rockets. You should be able to beat the Rockets. We'll see if Şengün plays. I don't know.
Last night he was questionable heading into the game. And you wonder, why is he questionable when he's not feeling pain? And he went out there and dominated, but it was because he wasn't going to play the back-to-back. Look, it has to be a concern, his health. They got about, if you include the regular season and the playoffs, it's about 2.5 to 3 months left if they were to win the finals. AD hasn't played more than 2.5 months straight without a significant injury since they won the championship in the bubble. And that was before, that year he came to the Lakers with something to prove. I can stay healthy. He played through the nagging injuries and played 62 of, I think, 71 regular season games because of the shortened season, because of the pandemic. AD needs to take that mentality this year. Now, I'm not going to blame him for tonight because it seems like the doctors and the team are holding him out. But this point forward, he needs to say, look, I'm playing through pain. All right, I've got something to prove, just like I did 3 years ago when we won the championship in the bubble. His mentality has got to be like I joked about the other day when every game you see him like down on the floor. LeBron does that too, but LeBron gets up and plays. AD, I don't like that. It just seems like you get hit. Just if it's serious, that's one thing. But if you get hit, just don't be so dramatic and so demonstrative. Get up, just keep playing. Play through the pain.
Can I say one kind of sidebar to this? There's been a ton of discussion, rightful discussion, about load management. What are we going to do? Are we going to change the awards? It's bad for the league. And there have been some voices, I think, correctly saying, in many cases, it is not the players.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It is the teams. I think this is a perfect example of that. I do not think Anthony Davis was holding himself out of tonight's game. The team has decided he can't play back-to-backs.
But you think that is an order from on high, the doctor? He's a top 10 player. It's like, you know what? I'm going to play.
I mean, he could override it if he wanted.
I'm not doubting that he could override it, but I do think that it is not. Whose idea was it? I do not believe it was Anthony Davis's. I believe it was the team's, and he's following it. They have one more after this back-to-back left. It's the final week of the season, and the second game is against the Clippers, the team they might be chasing for the 5 or the 6 seed. Might be a massive game. I'm very curious if he plays that back-to-back in the final week of the year, depending on the standings.
All right, still no LeBron. Lakers are 5-3 since losing him. He's been out since February 26th. Got some shots up. Sham says LA thinking LeBron will need a significant amount of time to ramp up. For his part, LeBron posted this on Instagram, which our producer Hubs absolutely loved and wanted in the show. He's like, no, this says he's getting ready. I'm like, I guess
Hyperbaric chamber. He also posted to Instagram a picture of him signing a book for my
thought it was
Pete's
beautiful.
daughter.
Showed that to me.
It was a really nice thing that he did at yesterday's game.
So I think this foot injury is going to. I said this yesterday that I think he's going to need to ramp up, and you guys said no, he's about his numbers.
Well,
no, that's not what we said.
That's literally what you said.
We said when he starts playing, he'll play well.
When he starts playing, I think the first game he might be on a minutes restriction.
Like play 20 minutes.
He usually
I don't think it'll be 20.
His minutes.
Yeah, I think it'll be 28 to 30. Here's what I think. When he comes back, he's going to be outstanding. LeBron earlier this year, he has only missed one other real chunk of time this season. He missed 2 weeks earlier this year. In the 30 games that followed, 30 games, he averaged 32, 8, and 7 on 52%. He was outstanding. That was with 2 weeks off. And that was off. If you remember the beginning of the year, his shot was way off. He looked shaky. It looked like, oh, maybe Father Time caught him. He had those 2 weeks off. I think he's going to be extraordinary when he comes back.
Wow.
Not give him 2 games to knock the rust off because it is a month, but that should be enough. That should be enough time. And I don't, because it's not Brew like it was the year they were the defending champs, where it's a sprained ankle,
right,
where he came back, it wasn't yet healthy, and you could tell he wasn't himself. Because it's not a soft tissue, I pulled my hamstring, I sprained my ankle. I know you're worried about foot injuries. He's not a 7-footer, Wilds.
I know, but still,
It's
out of
different.
all the injuries, if you had to draft horrible injuries, foot goes early.
I think he'll play fine. I mean, when have we seen LeBron for any significant strain? I'm talking about a week, just play badly. Like, he'll come back and play well. What I'm more concerned about is how he fits in. Like, LeBron needs to be sitting there watching, saying, okay, how can I fit in here where I don't take away from D'Angelo Russell, where I don't take away from Anthony Davis? Now, he's still the better player than D'Lo, obviously. But I'm just saying, they don't need LeBron to come in and carry them like he did earlier in the season. If AD's healthy, now you got D'Angelo Russell. What I do like is that you saw sometimes last night, a few times Anthony Davis brought the ball up the court.
Yeah.
What that tells you is that D'Lo, and we've seen it throughout his career, he can play off the ball. So if LeBron brings the ball up the court, you got D'Angelo Russell, you got Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, and then you got AD in the painted area in the mid-range. It should fit together.
Did LeBron win the assist title his second year with the Lakers, or was it just his career high in assists? I don't remember. I know he averaged
both.
I think he won. Okay, so we have seen LeBron average 30 a game as a Laker. We have seen LeBron win the assist title, averaging 10-plus as a Laker. Where I agree with you is, with this current collection, you need the latter rather than the former. You don't need the
He's going to get 25
no matter
just by
what.
being out there.
You need the distributor LeBron, which is LeBron he wants to be anyways. And I think that's the one you're going to get. I think the Lakers are right now the most dangerous team in the West until Kevin Durant comes back to Phoenix.
I like that.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.